Yes students, welcome back to the next video lecture. In the last lecture we completed components, we started the short note on graphical method, and I suppose you have written and learned the short notes. So based on that students, now after doing the short note of graphical method students, now we are going to start the questions of exercise 4.1 students. So pay attention how these questions are done students. These are very easy graphical questions. These are asked in section C for 2 to 3 marks. Sometimes in section D also, but generally in section C. Now the information about the capacity in lakh tons to load ships at a port each year is given below. Fit the linear trend using graphical method. Students, underline the word linear trend. Whenever it is linear trend students, we have to fit a trend line. So all of you students underline the word linear trend. Now students, generally the time periods which are given at an equal gap, say 2008, 2009, 2010 up to 2015, students, we consider the first value as t is equal to 1, second value 2009 st is equal to 2, third value 2010 st is equal to 3, and onward students. So the first step in this type of graphical approach students is to consider the given time periods st is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to whatever the values are given. So students, we write first sum exercise 4.1, considering 2008 st is equal to 1, 2009 st is equal to 2, and onwards. The values of t and yt are as below. So you make t and yt 1, 2, 3, 4. Check students how many years are given. 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And correspondingly students, you note the values of yt which are 90, 97, 108, 111, 127, 148, 169, and 200. So this is the first step students which we have to write in the sum. I suppose all of you understood. The last value if you cannot see, just check it students. My board is little limited, so I will have some constraints. So generally students, whatever time periods are given, we consider those time periods as t is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to the given values, and make the new columns of t and yt students. This is the first step in this type of sum. So now I am erasing this step. While doing the sum students, you should note down this step and then continue with me. Now students, we will draw the graph. Students, now we will draw the graph. So while drawing graph students, we have to be very careful about the scale, because we need 8 values of time. It means we need 8 values of t at an equal gap, and correspondingly the values of yt are from 90 to 200. So say let us draw the graph. Say this is x axis, this is y axis. On x axis students, we have time. time period t. Students, like this. And on y-axis we have variable quantity yt, which is capacity in lakh tons. Capacity lakh tons. Clear, students? Now on x-axis I will show 8 equal values: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Clear, students? Just check like this. And on y-axis I need minimum 90, so I will take a broken graph. And students, start with 90. So students, whenever we write scale, x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year. Why I have written, students, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year? Because the gap between two time period is 1 year. Check 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. So students, we have written 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year. And on y-axis we take 1 centimeter is equal to 10 lakh tons. Scale, students, on y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 10 lakh tons. Students, I have less space, so I have written LT. LT means 10 lakh tons, students. Sorry. Now students, pay attention. We have to plot the points, plot the ordered pairs, students. Check for 1, because now 2008 is 1. For t is equal to 1, we have 90. Okay, sorry, we will write this first. 90, 100, 110. I am writing here 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190 and 200. 180, 190. Students, I have less space, so be careful. I may erase the scale afterwards, so you note down the scale. On x-axis it is 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year, because the gap between two time period is 1 year. And on y-axis we took 1 centimeter is equal to 10 lakh tons. Okay students, now for t is equal to 1 we have 90. T is equal to 1 we have 90. For t is equal to 2 we have 97, so little below 100 we have to take. For t is equal to 308, so little below 110. For t is equal to 411, so little above 110. For t is equal to 5, 127, so little below 130. For t is equal to 6, we have 148, so little below 150. For t is equal to 7, we have 169, so little below 170. And for t is equal to 8, we have exactly 200. Students, I am drawing here that point. Okay, understood. Now students, I am erasing the scale so that our graph looks neat and clear. Is this clear? So I am erasing the scale. All of you would have noted by this time. Now what is the next step according to theory? We join, students, all these points in order by line segments. and this graph, students, is of original series. Students, this graph is of original series. Now what we'll do, check what was the short note. We join all the line segments, means we join all the points in order by line segments, and whatever graph we get, students, that is the graph of original series. Now students, we have to fit a linear trend to this time series. Now what we can do, we can take a line passing through any 2 points like this. At least the line should pass through 2 points, and the line should be actually nearby the curve. So this is our trend line or trend, and this graph is of original series. Clear? A trend line is drawn exactly passing through 2 points such that that line is nearby the original series. So this is how, students, we fit the linear trend. Now some of you may draw line through this 2 points, some of you may draw line through this 2 points. All is correct. There is no fixed rule. That is why only we say that different persons may draw different trend lines. Hence uniformity is not maintained in the estimation and conclusions of the values. So whatever graph we draw by joining line segment, that is called graph of original series, and we draw a line passing through 2 points such that the line is near the original series, that line is called trend line or simply linear trend. Clear, students? Then title. I am not writing the title, all of you should write down the title. Time series graph of capacity in lakh tons to load ships at a port. Time series graph of capacity in lakh tons to load ships at a port from the year 2008 to 2015. Box the title, box the scale, students. This completes our graph. I hope, students, all of you have understood. Clear? Now students, we are doing the second sum. The number of tourists in 1,000 visiting a certain tourist place is as follows. Find the trend using a suitable approach. Underline the word trend. Here, students, we are not given linear trend. We are only simply told to find a trend, students. So for that, we have to be very cautious, students. Now, considering 2010, ST is equal to 1. 2011, ST is equal to 2. 2012, ST is equal to 3 and onwards. That is our first step, which I am showing. Considering 2010, ST is equal to 1. 2011, ST is equal to 2. And onwards, the values of T and YT are as below. So make the columns of T and YT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. The corresponding values of YT are 5, 7, 10, 14, 30, 41 and 50. Okay, students, so you should note down this always, students, this step. I am lifting the board so that you can see it very clearly. After writing this, students, you should start your graph on a new page. Don't start the graph on the same page, students, where you have written this, because sometimes if the values of t and yt are very large, we will need entire length and breadth of the page. So after writing this, you should turn your page to draw the graph. Now scale is a very important factor, students. Say this is y-axis and say this is x-axis. On x-axis, students, we always take time. Time t. Here I will write 7 equal values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This way, students, 7 equal values. Now scale. On x-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year, and on y-axis, 1 centimeter is equal to, this is number of tourists in 1000. So let us take a scale of 5. So 1 centimeter is equal to 5000 tourists. I am not writing full, only t. T means tourist. So here we will not take, students, a broken graph and write at gap of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Here, students, we will write number of tourists. I am writing in short, students, forgive me, and the unit is 1000. Please, students, bear with me, my space is less. Now, students, we'll plot the pairs. For t is equal to 1, we have 5. So 1 and 5. For 2, we have 7. So between 5 and 10 somewhere. For 3, we have 10 exactly. For 4, we have 14, just below 15. For 5, we have 30. For 6, we have 41, just above 40. And for 7, students, we have 50. Again, I am erasing the scale. Scale, you should note down, x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 year. Y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 5000 tourists. Now what is our next step? Join these all points in order by line segments. This is our original series. Students, whatever graph we obtain by joining the points, it is original series. Now come back to the question, students. Find the trend using a suitable graph. So whenever linear trend is not given, students, we have to fit a curve. Linear trend means fit a line, and only it is given find the trend using a suitable graph means we are not told linear, means we have to fit a curve, students. Now what we will do, we will draw a smooth curve passing through these points or nearby the points like this. And actually, students, while fitting a curve, the curve should be near the points. So I start a curve like this. Your curve which you draw freehand, you should not lift your pencil while drawing the curve. This is straight. That's all. Once again I repeat, here we don't have to draw a line, a curve. I am drawing roughly a free end curve starting from this very near to all the points on the series. So students, whenever we are told to find trend, it means we have to fit a curve, and whenever we are told to find linear trend, then we have to draw a line. Clear students? Now title, what is the title? Time series graph of number of tourists in 1000 visiting a certain tourist place from the year 2010 to 2016. I repeat the title, time series graph of number of tourists in 1000 visiting a tourist place from the year 2010 to 2016. That's all students. Box the title, box the scale. So difference between linear trend and trend. Whenever it is only trend, we have to draw a free end curve nearby the points of original series. And whenever it is linear trend, then and then students, we should draw a trend line. Clear? Now students, the third sum. The data regarding number of girls YT per 1000 boys in the age group 0 to 6 years of a state are given in the following table. It is sex ratio. Number of girls per 1000 boys in the age group 0 to 6 years of a state are given in the following table. Obtain the linear trend using graphical method. Mark the word linear trend. Whenever it is linear trend, students, we have to draw a line, not a curve. Clear? So students, our first point will be, now that point I am not writing, I think all of you are well versed. Considering the year 1961, ST is equal to 1. 1971, ST is equal to 2. 1981, ST is equal to 3. 1991, ST is equal to 4 and onwards. So how many values are given of T? 6. So I think that step, students, you can now write on your own. Okay, in one more sum, let me write so that you people are well versed within that frame of step. Sum number 3, students, considering 1961 ST is equal to 1. 1971 ST is equal to 2. And onwards, the values of T and YT are as below. So first column of T, second column of YT, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And corresponding values of YT are 956, 948, then 947, then 928. You check sex ratio is decreasing, then 883, and here again 890. Last 2 years it has increased. Clear, students? So this step now in the fourth sum you should write on your own. Whatever year is given, the first we call it as T is equal to 1. Now gap between two time period is 10 years. So our scale will be on x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 10 years. Now students will draw the graph, and minimum value is 883 and maximum value is 956. So I think we'll take a scale of 10 on y-axis and start from 880 with a broken graph. y-axis we have time. This is always the same, students. Write 6 values at equal gap: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we show a broken graph and start from 880, 890, 900, 910, 920, 930, 940, 950, and say 960. This is y-axis. So check here on x-axis we have written time, that is universal, students. Now scale. X-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 10 years. Why, students, I did not write 1 year? Because the given time periods have a gap of 10 years. So that gap will become the scale. And on y-axis we write 1 centimeter is equal to 10 girls, because this YT shows number of girls per 1000 boys. So on y-axis, students, the scale will be 1 centimeter is equal to 10 girls. G stands for girls. Now, students, for t is equal to 1, it is 956. So 56 means about this, so somewhere here. For t is equal to 2, it is 948. So for t is equal to 2, little below 950. For t is equal to 3, it is 947. Almost same, little below. For t is equal to 4, it is 928. Little below 930. For t is equal to 5, it is 883. And for t is equal to 6, it is 890 exact. So now, students, first of all, we obtain original series by joining line segment in order. This is our original series, and on YT I should write here YT is number of girls, but students, I don't have space, simply you write YT as given. Now here also, students, we are told to find linear trend. So a line must be drawn at least passing through 2 points. Again, no such rule, but I can draw a line like this passing through 2 points. This line becomes triangle, that's all. So what will be the title? Time series graph of the data regarding number of girls YT per 1000 boys in age group of 0 to 6 of a state from the year 1961 to 2011. What would be the title, students? Time series graph of the data regarding number of girls per 1000 boys in the age group of 0 to 6 years of a state from the period 1961 to 2011. Box the title, box the scale, students. This completes your graph. So students, I request you to do the sums once in Fire book, once in graph book, and the fourth question, students, we will take in the next lecture. So start studying, students. We cannot afford to waste time, and as I told in this chapter, we will be doing the sums on the board itself. So students, you must try to do the sums fast. So here, students, we conclude the lecture. Once again, the short note is very clear. Now if you summarize the short note, let us discuss fast. This is the easiest method to obtain trend. Suppose the given ordered pairs of time period t, which is independent variable, and variable quantity yt, which is dependent variable, are t1, y1, t2, y2, t3, y3 up to tn, yn. We take time t on x-axis, variable quantity yt on y-axis with an appropriate scale. We plot the given ordered pairs and join them with the help of line segment. That gives us the graph of original time series. Then we fit a trend, which is a trend line, or we can fit a curve as and when required by ignoring the short-term variations. This is called the method to obtain trend, and even we can obtain future estimates using this trend line. So now students, the short note is very clear. Students, you can easily understand the short note. Refer it once again, you can easily understand. Draw the graph once in Fairbook, once in Graphbook, students, and if possible try to do the fourth sum on your own. Again, we will discuss the sum in the next lecture, students. Thank you. We conclude the lecture.